They never should have given me a microphone. Let's talk about Nicklas Lidstrom. So Nicklas Lidstrom is getting inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame, and that's a pretty big deal, right? If you get into the Hockey Hall of Fame, you're one of the better NHL players of all time. But you know what? I'm going to go with that's not even good enough. It's not even good enough just to consider Nicklas Lidstrom a Hockey Hall of Famer. We really need to start considering the possibility that maybe Nicklas Lidstrom is the best defenseman of all time. 1,142 points. Did I mention he was a defender when he did that? He had more points than penalty minutes, once again, as a defender, in 20 seasons. You want to take a guess at how many seasons Nicklas Lidstrom played? 20. He played 20. 50 or more points, 15 times, once again, as a defender. And he did this all in an era all about grit. You know, we think of the Scott Stevenses of the world. We think of Chris Pronger as some of the all-time greats. But then there's this guy in the Red Wings, a guy by the name of Nicklas Lidstrom. He's skating around, he's gliding, he makes it look beautiful and pretty. He doesn't even hit people. There was one season he famously threw one hit. And was he resented for it? No. Mike Babcock, his longtime coach, said that he considers Lidstrom one of the best defenders of his generation. And he's right.
In my opinion, he's the best player on the back end in his generation, bar none.
So now you're saying, all right, that's fine. I agree that he was really good, dude. I get it. But best ever? Have you ever heard of Bobby Orr? I mean, I have, and nothing against Bobby Orr. Certainly, he's one of the best NHL players of all time. Some people think he's the best player. Head of Lemieux, head of Gretzky, head of everybody. Lidstrom played in an era where, it's kind of unfair to say, but there were 30 teams. I just feel like there's kind of a reluctance to truly respecting something that just happened. There needs to be a few decades of nostalgia. No. Let's talk about how good Lidstrom is now. And he perfectly represented a generation of amazingness in Detroit. You want to hear something that'll make you depressed, especially if you're a Leaf fan? The 1989 draft for the Detroit Red Wings. They had 14 picks. It was a different world back then. There were 12 rounds. 7 of those picks went on to play in the NHL, and 4 of them played over 1,000 NHL games. Even the ones who didn't reach 1,000 games were great. Bob Bugner was one, and Vladimir Konstantinov was another. And in the third round, not the first, not the second, the third round, the Red Wings managed to snag Nicklas Lidstrom. And if you weren't green with envy enough by now, the next round, they picked Sergei Fedorov. And now looky, Nicklas Lidstrom and Sergei Fedorov too, for that matter, are in the Hockey Hall of Fame where they belong. So I'll end it here. What say you? Nicklas Lidstrom, one of the best defensemen of all time? I mean, look at all the Stanley Cups, Conn Smythes, the Norrises, more trophies than he has fingers on his hands. I think his accomplishments speak for themselves.